Responsible gun owners are fed up with the Second Amendment being abused and hijacked by some deranged individuals.
You're talking about a constitutional right to keep and bear arms.
In my state, they use them to shoot prairie dogs and, other types of varmints.
I think it's way too soon to start predicting how many are going to vote for it. We don't have an agreement yet.
As you can see, the gun control and school safety debate continues to be a hot topic all across the country tonight, but still no bipartisan consensus on any deal. Thanks for joining us on Valley News Live at 10. I'm Justin Betty.
And I'm Stacey Van Dyke. As the debate continues, more than 300 March for Our Lives rallies are expected to take place all across the nation on Saturday, including right here in the Red River Valley. Valley News Team's Nishay Taylor explains what local activists, including church leaders, are hoping to accomplish.
Mass shootings like in Uvalde, Texas and Buffalo, New York have left many families broken after their loved ones were taken by these tragedies. And although these horrific incidents happened many miles away, activists in the FM area are saying no more.
Enough is enough. We're marching for life. We need to come together and start to figure out ways that we can take action.
This weekend, local activists will be taking part in the National March for Our Lives rally in partnership with the Concordia Campus Ministry and Trinity Lutheran Church. Marching from Moorhead to downtown Fargo, these activists are hoping to reignite the conversation of creating change.
I think that we've been trying to have these conversations, many of us have for so long, and it just doesn't seem like we just haven't seen any kind of change.
And to send a clear message that lawmakers need to act now.
We need to hear more than offering thoughts and prayers. We would love to hear their plans. We would love to know that they are, in fact, working towards some reform and that they are actively trying to find ways to prevent this from happening again and again and again.
In Moorhead, Nishay Taylor, Valley News Live.
The march begins at 3 p.m. at Trinity Lutheran Church this Saturday. The church is at 210 7th Street in Moorhead.
Hutch joins us now with a first look at your forecast. Hutch.
Thanks so much, Stacey. Good evening, everyone. As you see from our view in the Devil's Lake Basin, a few more clouds up in our northern and western counties. These clouds extend all the way toward the Minnesota, North Dakota, South Dakota border. Not a lot of rain falling from them, though. That's the quiet news here in the valley, and good news, as a matter of fact. It's more good news than we can bear. Check this fella out. Here, kitty, kitty, kitty. No, that's a little bigger than a kitty. And I think he's looking for a snack in the bird feeder there. He's going right after it. Nancy, thanks for sharing this. It was in Park Rapids today. You got to be careful walking around in Park Rapids. You might run into a black bear. 58 in Bemidji, 58 in Minot. 60s, though, here in the valley. Grand Forks cooling off, upper 50s there. The radar really quieting down in our area. We had a couple of blips. That's it. The main event down in South Dakota towards Omaha. And now take a look at your Ribfest forecast as we go through the day. Tomorrow in the morning when they start the lunch specials out there, temperatures near 70. 75 again. Beautiful day. We stay in the 70s through the evening, passing clouds. Can't rule out a sprinkle here or there, but by and large, it should smell wonderful. 100% chance of that. Your forecast continuing into the weekend looks pretty fair as well, but some thunder. I'll have details in a minute.
All right, thanks, Hutch.
Yeah.
Tonight, after a month-long internal investigation, the city of Harwood's longtime public works superintendent has been fired. Harwood City Council voted unanimously to terminate 60-year-old Bernard Stash. Stash is facing several charges, including making terroristic threats following a police standoff in rural Otter Tail County back on May 1st. Court records state Stash threatened a woman, threw her on the ground, strangled her, said he was going to kill her. City officials say Public Works employee Jeremy Snyder will serve as interim Public Works superintendent. Police have now released more information on a fight at Fort Knox in Fargo where a man had part of his finger bitten off. Police say this happened just before 2 Sunday morning when Fort Knox employees told Austin and Dylan Wrighton to leave because it was bar close time. Officers say there was a verbal argument. It turned physical. During that altercation, one staff member, Victor Barbosa, lost a portion of his finger, bitten off. He was then taken by ambulance to the hospital. 24-year-old Dylan Wrighton was arrested for aggravated assault and taken to Cass County Jail. He denies biting Barbosa. The police report also says 26-year-old Austin Wrighton kicked one man in the face and punched another. Police say he'll be referred to Cass County State Attorney's Office for assault charges. He claims he was choked during the incident. Police are still investigating and also working to identify other possible suspects.
New for you tonight, Spitfire on North Shore Drive in Detroit Lakes is closing its doors for good. The restaurant's owners announced this afternoon that staffing shortages have just become too much to bear and they could no longer provide the level of service owed to the patrons. They vowed to follow through on catering services that are already scheduled and to offer team members positions at the West Fargo location. Authorities in Itasca County need help finding the suspect of a break-in at Zorba's in Grand Rapids. Yesterday, he's described as a middle-aged white man with a medium build, bald, wearing black tennis shoes, a black zip-up coat, and a white hoodie with blue stripes. If you have any information on that case, you're urged to call police. You can find that number on valleynewslive.com.
A woman could face up to 20 years in prison after police say she started a fire at the East Grand Forks Islamic Center early Sunday morning. Police learned that woman lit a curtain on fire and then ran off. They were able to use surveillance video to identify Suzette Thompson, who was then arrested. She now faces 2 counts first-degree arson. The Minnesota State Fire Marshal's office is still investigating. They say damage was minimal. No one was hurt.
Authorities have released the name of a man killed in a crash in Mcnulman County this morning. It happened at Highway 59 and County Road 6. Troopers say a semi driven by Ryan Kellen of Norcross, Minnesota, was heading north on Highway 59 when a car driven by 37-year-old Joshua Kraft of Fargo crossed into that lane and hit the left side of the Freightliner. Kraft wasn't wearing a seatbelt and died at the scene.
An estimated 1 in 10 Minnesotans qualifies for a $750 check from the state. Applications open tomorrow for people who worked the front lines during the pandemic, and not just healthcare workers. Jobs in childcare, food service, emergency responders, public transit, retail, and education all qualify. However, there are a few requirements. The frontline jobs may not have provided long-term virtual or work-from-home options. There is an income cap. You can find those details on our website or the VNL News app.
Also new tonight, now that pools are open for the summer, a Bismarck mom is imploring parents to be extra vigilant after a 13-year-old she was supervising was left paralyzed while swimming during a pool party.
Hillary Lane shows us what happened.
Went to Ramkota, everything was normal and kids were swimming, having fun.
But the day turned tragic when Sonda Cheek brought her children and their friend 13-year-old Liliana to a pool party at Ramkota in Bismarck this past April. It was then that Liliana dove off this slide straight down into 3 feet of water. After the impact, she was floating face down.
Liliana has asthma. I know she can't hold her breath that long. So I lifted her head up. And right away, I could see the fear in her eyes. And she was like, Sonda, I can't move.
The 13-year-old was airlifted to the hospital and was placed on a ventilator.
A lot of guilt, for being the one responsible at that time.
While over the past 2 months, she has made great strides, she still remains completely paralyzed on the right side of her body. Cheek is now raising money to help the family. Liliana's mom already works 3 jobs.
Not even going to be able to bathe her at home because her wheelchair is not going to be able to make it into the shower, and a shower chair cannot even fit in their bathtub. So she's already trying to make arrangements to take her to hotels, just to bathe her.
And as the weather heats up, Cheek implores all parents to have a pool safety chat with their children and always supervise them while they're in the pool.
That things like this can happen in a matter of seconds, and it can change a lot of lives.
I'm Hillary Lane reporting.
If you'd like to donate to Liliana's recovery, you have more information on our website, valleynewslive.com. Just click on this story.
Elections are coming up, and whether you plan to vote in person or by mail, you can find all the voting information you need on our website, valleynewslive.com. Just click on the election tab near the top of our homepage. From there, you can find information on voting in North Dakota, and at the bottom of the page are links to voting locations for Fargo, West Fargo, and Grand Forks.
Still ahead tonight, how an